Hello, I'm Harry Hobson, President and CEO of Plymouth Harbor.
And I'm Karen Novak, the Administrator for Strategic Healthcare Initiatives at Plymouth Harbor.
Good. Thank you, Karen. Karen and I want to give everyone an update today. We're going to cover several topics. So my guess is this video might be somewhere around 15 or 20 minutes, but there's a lot of good information here we'd like to share with you. We'll be covering, of course, the COVID-19, the status here on campus. We're going to share with you our plans on reopening the visitation stations. I'll get into that in a few moments. We'll talk a little bit about social gathering. I'll give you an update on the windows, and I'll certainly assure everyone that we're keeping an eye on what's going on out in the Gulf of Mexico, or soon will be. And then we're going to have a special guest with us here toward the end of our video today with some good information. So, Karen, why don't we go ahead and get started? And I'd like to ask you to give a campus update.
Sure. I am really happy to report we are again with no COVID cases in our residents or our staff. So keep up the good work. Keep that physical distance of 6 foot at least from each other, and continue to do what you're doing, because you're doing a really good job right now.
Right. Very good. And, as we move along, we're going to gradually be bringing some programs back online. And you'll hear me make references to that here in a few minutes. But again, our intent is to move very slowly. Okay?
And safely.
And safely. We've got a lot of good success going. We don't want to disrupt that at this point.
Absolutely. I think at any point in time, Harry, you would agree that if we need to kind of fall back a little bit, take a breath before we continue forward, we might have to do that.
That's right. That's right. Thank you. Karen, I'd like to talk a little bit about the reopening. As you're certainly aware, you've been on that task force this week, and we call it our visitation station. And I'm pleased to announce that we are going to be reinstituting, I think, a new and improved visitation program for our Smith Care Center, our Star Memory Care, and Seaside Assisted Living residents. And that's going to unfold starting likely late next week, and we'll gradually do it over the couple of weeks to follow. We know how important it is for the residents that have not been able to get back out to see their family members. So very important for all of us. Right now, we're finalizing our plans as we speak, and we'll be in a position early next week to formally announce the details of this plan. But I think those family members and those residents that I mentioned in memory care, assisted living, in our skilled nursing home will be pleased with that. I know we feel good about it. Now,
we do indeed, and a special thanks to Marty and George and the whole team that are really working very diligently to get this up and going. So thank you.
Everybody understands the end game. They really do. And social isolation is top of mind for us, and how we can get back to doing some socializing and visiting. I have to remind everybody that we are going to continue to keep the campus closed for visitors and family members as we move through Labor Day and as we say so often, and probably the 2 weeks to follow those big days. We're going to watch the trends, and then we'll start having some discussions. Not only Labor Day, but let's face it, some of our children, grandchildren, and beyond are going back to school. We want to see what impact that might have. So we're very cautious as far as inviting guests back on campus at this time. And I know that abundance of caution, Karen, speaks right to your wheelhouse.
Absolutely. We know children do carry that coronavirus. And, sometimes they have the ability to transfer that to their family members or even you, our Plymouth Harbor residents. So we want to make sure that we are safe when we are opening up the campus. We're not quite there yet, so let's just kind of take it slow and easy and watch our trend line here at Plymouth Harbor.
But we are making some progress. And speaking of progress and social gathering, I want to talk for a moment about the Mayflower restaurant, the cafe, and the bistro. I know I've got everybody's attention now that I've mentioned that. I want you to know that we have already started very serious conversations. We started that very serious yesterday. That's going to continue over the next week to 10 days. And we do want to begin reopening some of those areas. Now, when I talk about reopening, I'm not referring to the way it used to be. Not yet. What we have to do is think of our new normal. And again, this is not a race, it's a marathon. And as any marathoner would tell you, that you need to pace yourself and you need to take each step in a very deliberate fashion. And that's what we're continuing to do. So when we talk about those three areas, the Mayflower, the cafe, and the bistro, there are several approaches that our team is going through right now and discussing. And that would be something to the effect where we might take our home delivered meals and look at neighborhoods, neighborhood by neighborhood, or what we say here at Plymouth Harbor, by the colonies. And we might have Monday as a certain colony night, and their home delivered meals would be available right here in the Mayflower dining room. We might do the same thing with the bistro, if you will, where the residents in the Northwest Garden, their meals would be available in the bistro. Some folks are doing a little bit of that now, and that's fine, as long as they're doing social distancing. And we may also say there might be another night of the week where the North Garden might utilize the bistro or the Mayflower. So we're gradually doing it. We're going to do it by our neighborhoods, and then we're going to learn as we go through. We may do a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. We might do 5 days a week, but those are the kinds of discussion that we're having right now.
And as we try this, we're going to remember to keep that physical distance and keeping your hands clean and wearing your masks and not touching your face when your mask is off when you're actually eating. All of those things will help keep us safe and help keep that program going forward.
Absolutely. And so what I kind of defined to you right now is something we would call phase one. After we get a good understanding of how we're doing, then we would go into phase two, yet to be defined, but something a bit more on a socializing basis. So excited about that. I really want to continue in that arena. And if you remember on one of the more recent videos, we all hear social distancing, and that's part of our DNA these days, it seems like. But I also like to do a little bit of play on that and call it distant socializing. So distance socializing, basically encouraging people. It's been brought to my attention, Karen, I know you've heard it too, and our own observations, but some residents have come to me more recently and they said, Mr. Hobson, do you mind if some of us get together in our colony areas and social distance and maybe have some fellowship, et cetera? My direct answer to that is absolutely. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that. And Karen,
got to keep your physical distance, that social or distancing socially intact at all times. Please remember to wear your mask in conversation. If you're going to indulge in a few cocktails maybe or some appetizers, yes, you may have your mask on, but then you have to really remember, don't touch your face with your hands while you're doing that. But by all means, socializing is absolutely what we need to feel good about ourselves sometimes. So yes, absolutely, you can do that, but keep in mind those parameters that we've been talking about all these months.
Right, and I don't want anybody to feel guilty about that. And I know that's been stated. They feel like they're not supposed to be doing it. It's absolutely okay. Now, as we get into that phase 2 program that I mentioned earlier, Mayflower Dining Room, Bistro, et cetera, I think in that phase 2, some folks might say, well, why don't we get our adult beverage, bring it down to one of those areas, and several folks get together and socialize again, cross-pollinate from the various neighborhoods. That will invite more of that in those areas into phase 2 of opening those restaurants and cafe.
Right. We're going to remember during phase 1, though, we're still going to keep that group level to 10 or less. We're going to keep an eye on those numbers and make sure that we're not going to increase or start any kind of cluster outbreak.
That's right. That's right. Also, one other thing I do want to mention, and that has to do with our 2 major capital projects here. And one of those, of course, is the installation of the hurricane grade windows. And we've got somebody that's going to be joining us here shortly. Hello, Summer.
Hi, everybody.
We're going to be talking wellness here in just a couple of minutes. Okay. But regarding the hurricane grade windows, that installation is going very well right now. And sometimes people will say, why do you let those contractors on campus? If you recall, we made an exception. They're going through a tremendous amount of screening before they start, but there's a direct tie-in to the hurricane season going on and trying to button this campus up as much as we can. We're making great progress with that. As we sit here today on August 21st, I'm pleased to say that West Garden and the Energy Center are totally complete at this point. The East Garden project has been moving along nicely. We anticipate that the East Garden will be finished by September 1st, and then we'll move into the North Garden area. And of course, that also houses our Smith Care Center. And we'll be there, as I say, mid-September around. Our goal is about the 17th of September, and we'll be there until mid-December. Let me back up. We'll be there to just before Thanksgiving. Okay, so once we finish the North Garden, then we'll move on to the tower. And from the tower standpoint, 25-story building, we'll start at the top and move our way down. And the total project should be finished by June 1st, 2021, which happens to be the first day of hurricane season 2021. So we're making good progress. And Karen, you have to be pleased as well with the kind of screening that's taking place with these folks.
Absolutely. We're doing it every single day that they're here, every single time they come into our building. We want to keep that risk of exposure down to a bare minimum, if at all possible. So we're doing a great job, and it's showing in our numbers since we have no cases here.
Right.
Especially important since we've got those 2 storms in the Gulf right now.
Right. And before we move over to wellness, let me just give a brief update on the elevator modernization. That's also going well. As you recall, we did restart that. We had to shut down for 2 months. That program has been restarted. We'll have elevator 3 up and running and totally modernized by September 17th. Then we'll move on to elevator 2, and that will be complete by just before Christmas. I know what some residents are asking, 2020. Okay. But by mid-December this year, and then concluding the project in mid-March 2021. So that's moving along as well. So I think what I'd like to do now is to welcome our Director of Wellness. I think everybody knows Summer Wrench. Hello, Summer.
Hello, guys.
You've got some interesting props I can see in the background. But what I've asked Summer to do today is if she would just give us an update regarding our wellness program, how that's working out, and then share something that's special starting next week for our team members.
Absolutely. So wellness is going really, really well, all things considered, in a world of COVID-19. Everyone seems to have adapted quite well to our new reservation system. Everything is going much more smoothly. And I'm very pleased that the residents are partnering with us and following all of the guidelines that we've worked so hard to put into place. I think that's why we've been so successful. So it's a great feeling. People have been exercising safely, and hopefully, it's been helping to kind of be able to bring back a little bit more of that movement and just getting out a little bit more in our community here at Plymouth Harbor. I'd say the most common question that I am getting right now is, when will in-person group exercise begin? And we are going to revisit this, as has been shared already, but after the Labor Day weekend. We want to see how things go, both here at Plymouth Harbor and out in our community here in Sarasota. But we've been preparing for whenever we do decide that the green light is on for that. And I'm confident that the plan that we have in place will be a safe and efficient one. And we'll look forward to being able to share that with everyone come that time.
Summer, I want to commend you and your team for keeping everything so sanitized down there. You're doing a really great job in helping prevent that transmission of that wonderful little virus. So thank you for all your work.
Well, you're very welcome. Yes, and I certainly am not doing it alone. Many of you have met our new Wellness Center assistant, Anna Olson. She has just been critical to us being able to continue to sanitize at the rate that we are, and making sure that, we're answering all the questions that have come up about our new processes and procedures. So we're starting to run like a well-oiled machine now in our new normal.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, you've been busy, I know, and I ask you if you could also share with our residents, our team members, of course, and their families, what's going to be going on next week.
Yeah, so next week is an exciting time for us here on campus. The end of August tends to be our annual team member health fair week. And so this year it's going to look a little bit different, as majority of it will actually be virtual. We've partnered with our many health and wellness vendors that normally would come on site and share a few days with us, be in person, and support our team members with resources and all sorts of goodies and fun. But now they are providing us with video content and virtual documents and different opportunities for us to send out to our staff that will be going out in emails every day. Another fun, spirited week piece, I guess you could say, is that team members are actually going to have some dress-up days if they would like to participate. So you may see some different outfits walking around campus next week, but it's meant to just have a little bit of fun during such a stressful time, and to remind ourselves that it's a good thing to show our originality and our style. So that's going to be a lot of fun there. We will be holding some in-person biometric screenings for our team members in the club room. So you will see me there in the mornings early. They are fasting blood tests, so we do have team members coming in earlier than they may normally, but they are only going to be seeing 2 team members at one time, and it will be rotating every 15 minutes. So we are making sure that we are, of course, remaining within our guidelines. We're working with Sarasota Memorial Hospital to provide this, making sure we are remaining distanced appropriately when we are in that room together. Team members will be able to get additional resources from our team member employee wellness program on board, and even enjoy a healthy lunch that will be catered by our dining services department, made possible by the generous donations from our wonderful residents. So it's an exciting time. As you can see, there's chances to win some prizes there for our team members. So really just a fun week focused on personal health and well-being, and just doing it in a little bit of a different way this time. So you'll probably see that taking place off of the lobby.
Well, I think that's great, Summer. I really do. And I know many residents know this, but I'll share it with the family members as well. There is no lack of energy on this campus. You've gotten to know Karen pretty well over the past few months. Summer, you and your team are doing a great job. You think of other folks like Franco, Carlos, and Dining Services. Everybody's got such great ideas and ways of helping combat, if you will, social isolation also. You made a comment about dress up day, and let me ask you, Summer, yesterday, sometimes I feel like I've lost control. What was going on yesterday? I seem to have seen clowns. I've seen ring mat. What was going on yesterday?
Well, and a little remnants here still left over in my office with the hula hoop and the top hat. But earlier this week, we were blessed to be able to participate in a traveling circus parade over in our assisted living and our memory care environments. And it was just so much fun. I know that more information and pictures will be shared with everybody soon. But we got to really partner together with Brandy's team, and Franco was a huge lead on this, and so many from all different departments came together. We even had a lion come in that was actually a Great Dane, Franco's dog. And so we just pulled out all the stops to get as creative as possible to bring some joy and some smiles, and boy, we sure did.
Something I got over there. Go ahead, Karen.
I hear those donut pops had no calories in them, too.
I did not order those, but yes, they were calorie free, I'm sure.
I got over there early to see some of this, and it really was amazing. And to see Franco, he was also a ringmaster with his Great Dane, and he had this furry collar, and I had to do a double take because he looked like a lion. So
yeah. It was really great. So, and a big shout out to the activities department over there, especially Yvonne. She was doing some exceptional magic tricks, which was really exciting to see.
Well, it was very good. And I had 3 residents from assisted living call me late yesterday, and they were just beaming, talking about what fun it was to see everybody. So kudos to the whole team. Very well done.
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, let me just conclude this update with letting everyone know we are keeping an eye on the Gulf of Mexico. It's not been since September 5th, 1933, that we actually had 2 hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico at the same time that made landfall. Not only were they the same day, but they were the same hour. It was midnight.
Wow.
So it's a long time ago. So right now we're all keeping an eye on Tropical Depression 13 and Tropical Depression 14, which are likely to turn into at least Category 1 hurricanes. And they'll likely make landfall in Texas. And then we're watching that cone very much to see if it may touch our area or the outer bands anyway. And most of that activity will occur sometime into the day, Tuesday and Wednesday. I want to assure all of our residents and their families that our storm team, we are in place. We've met recently. We'll continue to meet, and everybody will be safe. We're committed to this. So, okay, Karen, is there anything else you have?
Yes, actually, we want to let everybody know that we are on the state list to actually receive the quick rapid testing kits. So I would think by the end of September, we should have another tool to do the rapid testing. So we're very excited by that.
Okay, very good. Very good. Well, that's all I have. So, Karen, you want to give us your advice?
Absolutely. We want to remind you to please keep that distance socially, please. Keep that 6-foot perimeter around you at all times. Remember to wash your hands quite frequently. Hit those high contact areas. Wipe them down with that antibacterial wipe or soap. Remember, too, to hit those cell phones as well as those keys in your pocket. But most of all, most importantly, remember to wear your mask, that multi-layered mask that will keep you safe. It'll keep the people around you safe, and it'll help Plymouth Harbor keep our zero. And we want really to keep that zero number. So please,
it's time to don our mask. So ladies, let's do it. Thank you all.